In this video, I'm going to share my 4 top tips to overcoming overwhelm when it comes to building a private practice. So this has come up a couple of times this week, so I thought it was a great topic for an AMA, Ask Me Anything video. So if you have too many ideas going on all at once and you don't know which one you should go with or focus on, if you've got too many things on your to-do list and you're just getting to a point where you're not really sure what the answers are, too many things going around in your head all at the same time, kind of feeling like you couldn't find the wood for the trees, those sorts of things, then these top tips are for you. It happens a lot in business, and especially in solo businesses, because everything, all the decisions are on you. All of the choices are yours to make. And on one hand, that's one of the reasons why we went into private practice, is because we like to have autonomous decision-making abilities. But on the other hand, the downside of that is when you're trying to decide on what to do and how to do it, you're usually doing it on your own. So my top tips. Number 1 is grab a piece of paper and a pen. Let's journal. Let's get everything off your head. Now, this doesn't have to be a certain way. You can doodle it in pictures if you want. You can scribble all your ideas on paper. You could just offload and go kind of crazy, get it all out. It doesn't really matter. The point is that when you're in overwhelm, you've got so much going on in your head that your head is not capable of figuring out all of the pieces and all of the solutions. So if the longer that you run around with it all in your head, the longer it's going to take you to move through that and come to any kind of choice or decision. So grab a piece of paper and pen, iPad if you prefer typing, and just get all your ideas out, get all of your thoughts out, all of your worries, all of the emotions that are going on. Just get them out, get them offloaded and out of your head. There is something that happens when you write something down. It's a different brain process. So it helps you to process all the things that are in your head and see a little bit of some options that maybe you didn't see before. And it is completely free. So get that in your diary and do it. You don't also have to do it all at once. So if you do it and you're getting a little bit kind of, a bit too much, then just put it down and then come back to it later and do a little bit more. So it's up to you how many times you want to kind of do it to get it all out, but we need to get it out your head. The second one is we need to go back to basics. So if you haven't already got a copy of the Build It Brilliant blueprint, it's the foundations level in that model. So if you haven't already, then go and grab yourself a copy. I'll put a link in the description below. But we need to go back to the foundations, and we need to go back to the very, very basics. So time and money, because that can really help you then to see which decision might be a more appropriate decision for you than some of the others. And bringing it all the way back to basics and saying, okay, do you know your figures? Do you know what you're trying to achieve in terms of figures? Now, a bit of a point about motivation at this point, because some people said, just don't get motivated by money. That's absolutely fine, neither do I. But you need money in order to have a business. Without money, you don't have a business. So we need to know those figures to make sure that there's enough coming in, going out, and we have a viable, sustainable business. So get to your figures and go back to those basics, those foundations. The other part of that foundations is around purpose. And I think that is the next step. So step 3 is remembering why you're doing what you're doing. Now, it doesn't have to be a grandiose purpose. Like, you don't have to go, oh, but is this my purpose? My purpose? There's so many questions around purpose. It just needs to be, when we're in this overwhelmed state, we want to quit, we want to give up, we want to jack it all in and just go and get a normal job and be paid. And the challenge with that is, that normal job, would it would it give you that motivation and that sense of fulfillment and that sense of worthiness? You can get that from many different places for many different reasons, but it's important on a daily basis that you feel like you're doing something that is in line with your soul, if that's the terminology you like, or motivates you or makes you happy, or whatever it is that makes you say, I'm on this planet to do something that means something to me. I'm not just a wandering zombie that just goes around doing things for the sake of it. I do it because it motivates me. I enjoy it. It gives me some kind of fuel in some way. So in these states when we're really overwhelmed, we want to come back to feeling that motivation and remembering our why, and remembering our purpose, remembering the meaningfulness behind what it is that we are doing. So you want to take some time to maybe reconnect with that feeling and nurture it a little bit, so it can be there when you make your decision going forwards of whatever thing it is that you're going to choose. And then the last step 4 is simple steps. So now you've got everything out of your head. Now you know your figures. Now you've reconnected with that sense of motivation and purpose. Now you can say, okay, what's my next few steps? And it's about saying, you don't climb a mountain, you don't just blink your eyes and be stood at the top of a mountain. You have to take each step. So it's just about looking and saying, what is the next step? And the next step might be, I need to research a little bit more around this particular technology or this particular way of doing something. Or it might be that your next step is to eat the frog, like do the thing that you have been avoiding and not wanting to do because you think, oh God, I don't want to face that. And you need to do it. You just need to do that. And really focus on the next couple of simple steps. And that can help you to realize that it is doable, and can help you come out of the overwhelm. So there you go. That is my 4 top tips to overcoming overwhelm when it comes to building a successful private practice. First one, journal, get it off your head. Stop wandering around with everything in your head, trying to think you can find the solution. Get it out, get it on paper. Number 2, go back to basics, go back to your financials, go back to your figures and know what they are. Number 3, reconnect with purpose, meaning, why, whatever word you want to use for that, but reconnect with that feeling of why it's important that you do what you do, and nurture that and reconnect with that in some way. And then number 4 is simple steps. Just take the next few simple steps. So I hope that you have found that helpful. And if you are feeling that overwhelmed, just know that you are, like, the world is tough, but so are you. And you could absolutely do this. It's just a case of emotions are not static things. Sometimes things are going really, really great and we're riding the high. And sometimes they're not so great and we need to wade through the overwhelm to get to the solution. You're not failing or rubbish or less than somebody else, or it's very easy to look out to the world and go, oh my God, all these people are flying and doing really, really great things. Everyone puts out their best side on social media. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So let's not get into comparison paralysis. Let's come back. It's okay. We all have ups and we all have downs. That's part of being human, and you can work through it. That is it for this week's AMA video, and I will see you next week for the next one.